Shalom, Jasher. Peace, Israel. I'm going to do a video on what would happen if the earth were to stop rotating. But first, I got to get this Copyright Fair Use Act disclaimer in. Take about a minute maybe. And while that's loading, I want to give all praises to the Most High, the Ancient of Days, Yahweh, in the name of His Son, Bahasham, Yahushai, King of Israel. Alright, that should be good enough on that. Let me go to this next window. I've already done this, so you can see it wouldn't take that long. What would happen if the earth stopped rotating? We're going to watch a quick video here. And once again, this is on Google site. And you can also see NASA down at the bottom here. Look, NASA Gov image and blah blah blah. What would happen if the earth stopped spinning? We're going to click on it. Watch one of these videos here. We'll find a little short video. Alright, I see one for a minute. Now let's do this one here real quick. Yeah, we can also get it on YouTube. CGI. That is not a real image of Earth. You will never see a real image of a spinning ball Earth. Never, ever. That's a fact. In fact, the opposite would happen. If the earth were a spinning ball, you'd be holding on to that sign just like that little cartoon character there. You'd be underwater. It'd be so much chaos if this earth was spinning. You'd be like on a treadmill. Everything not nailed down is getting destroyed, including people. And once this video is done playing, I'm going to go read something here. Now the sun's rising in the west. Oh, imagine that. Centrifugal force, huh? So how does water stay on a ball that's spinning? Two super oceans, oh my goodness. And how do they know all this? How? Has it happened before? Were they here when it happened? Alright, that's enough of this. Population 0. We got that. Now let's go on to the next one here. Well, actually, let's go back, because I need to go ahead and read this paragraph here. Let's type on one of them. If the earth stood still. Okay, no. Earth stopped rotating. Now let's go up. Alright, let's tap on this one and do some reading here. Now this is going to sound so absurd. The probability for such an event is practically zero in the next few billion years. If the earth stopped spinning suddenly, the atmosphere would still be in motion with the earth's original 1100 mile per hour rotation speed at the equator. All of the land masses would be scored clean of anything not attached to bedrock. This means rocks, topsoil, trees, buildings, your pet dog, why'd I have to throw that in there, and so on, would be swept away into the atmosphere. Hold on, let's go, okay. Let's go back up. If the process happened gradually over billions of years, they can't prove billions of years, so they just throw billion out there. The situation would be very different. And it is this possibility which is the most likely as the constant torquing of the sun and moon upon the earth. The sun is 93 million miles away. What torque does it have on the earth? The moon is 230-something thousand miles away. What torque does it have on the earth? Upon the earth finally reaches its conclusion. If the rotation period slowed to one rotation every 365 days, a condition called sun synchronous, every spot in the earth would have permanent daytime or nighttime all year long. This is similar to the situation on the moon, where for 2 weeks the front side is illuminated by the sun, and for 2 weeks the back side is illuminated. I didn't know there was a back side to the moon, being the fact that we only see the front side your whole life. You've never seen the back side of the moon. This situation for the earth is not the condition of stop rotation, but it is as close as the laws of physics, you mean the laws of cycles, will let the earth get. If it stops spinning completely, not even once every 365 days, you would get half year daylight and half year nighttime. Once again, how do they know all this? Has it happened before? Actually, it has happened before, and I'm going to show you later on when and how and where. During daytime for 6 months, the surface temperature would depend on your latitude. Latitude, is that side to side? Being far hotter that it is now at the equator than at the poles, where the light rays are more slanted. I didn't know you can bend light rays. How are the rays slanted at the poles? The North Pole and the South Pole should get the same amount of light, being the fact that, and how, because the earth is on its axis. So no, let's keep reading. More slanted and heating efficiency is lower. This long-term temperature gradient would alter the atmospheric wind circulation pattern so that the air would move from the equator to the poles rather than in wind systems parallel to the equator like they are now. The yearly change in the sun's position in the sky. How is the sun's position in the sky changing and the sun is 93 million miles away? They make it sound like here that the sun is right above our head. Would now be just its seasonal motion up and down in the sky towards the south due to the orbit of the earth and its axial tilt. As you move along constant lines of earth latitude, you would see the elevation of the sun increase or decrease in the sky, just as we now see the elevation of the sun change from a single point on the earth due to the earth's daily rotation. Garbage. For example, if you were at latitude of plus 24 degrees north in the summer and at a latitude where the sun was exactly overhead, how is the sun exactly overhead and it's 93 million miles away? That is not exactly overhead. It would slide gradually to the horizon as fall approached. But since the sun has moved 90 degrees in its orbit, it would now be due west. So now the sun's rising in the west. Then as we approach winter, you would now be located on the dark side of the earth. Okay, just like the dark side of the moon, huh? And would have to travel in longitude to a location 180 degrees around the earth to see the sun halfway up in the sky, because in the winter, the sun is 48 degrees south of its summer location in the sky. It's a little confusing. No, it's a lot of confusing. But if you use a globe, yeah, you have to use a globe. You can't use a flat map of the earth and orient it the right way. You have to put the ball in just the right way. Make sure it's tilting on its axis too when you hold it. You can see how all this works out. Oh my goodness, this is such madness. Look, this is from NASA. This is what these psychopaths put out here. As for other effects, presumably the magnetic field of the earth is generated by a dynamo effect that involves its rotation. Dynamo. Dinosaurs, huh? If the earth stopped rotating, its magnetic field would no longer be regenerated. Yeah. And it would decay away to some low residual value due to the very small component which is fossilized in its iron-rich rocks. There would be no more northern lights. That's in Alaska, right? And the Van Allen radiation belts would probably vanish. Okay, that's good, isn't it? Now you can get to space since the radiation belts are gone. As would our protection from cosmic rays and other high energy particles. This is a significant biohazard. Copyright 1997, Dr. Sten Odenwald. Excuse me. Okay, let's go back here to another article. The good news is that if the Earth's rotation stopped, we wouldn't fall off. Let's read this one. What would happen if the Earth stopped rotating? A different doctor. The good news is that if the Earth's rotation stopped, we wouldn't fall off. I think if the Earth was spinning, we would fall off. It's called centrifugal force. With water pushed to the poles, we could walk on land around the entire equator. Okay, but it would be a very inhospitable place. How do they know this? Have they done this? Or are they just guessing? They're just making up bullshit. We know that the rotation of the Earth is gradually slowing down. How do you know that? You have a camera on the outside of the Earth, a radar detector like how the police have when they're checking your speed. But what would happen if God, now they throw God, oh my goodness, the devil or aliens, I haven't read this yet, this is a surprise to me. God, the devil, and aliens, you mean angels, huh? Suddenly and completely stopped our planet from rotating on its axis of spin. This is a good one. Luckily, thanks to improved knowledge about our planet, geographers can now give us the answers. What's the answers? Of course, if you suddenly stop the Earth from spinning, most of our planet would rapidly become inhospitable. Okay, we've read that. You could travel around the Earth on the equator. Can't you do that now? How come you can't travel around the Earth on the equator now? What does it have to stop spinning in order for you to travel it for? Okay, enough of this madness here. You can go to Google and type in yourself what would happen if the Earth stopped spinning and just read all this garbage that they put out here. And this is on the NASA website. Let's go get something here from scriptures. Since I believe in the Bible, the Holy Bible, Hakodash Katab. And let's see what happened here in the book of Joshua. Let's go chapter 10. Through 12. And let's see what the Most High has to say about this spinning earth. I would like the KJV here. Let me see if they will pull it up for me. No, I don't want no New International Version. No. No New King James either. Where's the KJV at? Alright, K up at the top, okay. Here we go. This is Joshua chapter 10, verse 12. On the day the Lord, I read it verbatim. On the day the Lord gave the Amorites over to Israel, Joshua said to the Lord in the presence of Israel, Sun, stand still over Gibeon, and you, moon, over the valley of Ajalon. So the sun stood still and the moon stopped till the nation avenged itself on its enemies. And by the way, the Amorites are our enemies. Amorites, aka Canaanites. As it is written in the book of Jasher. This still sounds like an NIV version. Yes, it is. Why do they keep tricking me here? I knew it didn't sound right for some reason. Now let's go back here. KJV. Sorry for the repeat, but I got to do it again in KJV. It just sounds better. Then spake Joshua to the Most High in the day when the Most High delivered up the Amorites before the children of Israel. And he said in the sight of Israel, Sun, stand thou still upon Gibeon, and thou moon in the valley of Ajalon. And the sun stood still, and the moon stayed, until the people had avenged themselves upon their enemies. Is not this written in the book of Jasher? So the sun stood still in the midst of heaven, and hasted not to go down about a whole day. I'm not going to say that a whole day was 24 hours in this case. But what I will say is probably about you get a good 8 to 12 hours of sunlight at least every day. So if the sun stood still, does that mean that the earth stopped spinning? Yeah, let these NASA rocket scientists, they'll tell you, yeah, the earth stopped spinning. No, it does not say the earth stopped spinning. It said the sun stood still and the moon. So he can see, Joshua can see the sun and the moon in the sky at the same time. Right? If that's the case, then how is the earth spinning? How is it rotating? How is it even a ball? All my viewers out there, I know you got some answers and questions. Leave comments. Let's check one more out and see here. Oh, whoa, surprise. 40 and 22. I wouldn't mind having this in the Blue Letter Bible. Let's read Isaiah chapter 40 and 22 real fast. Circle of the earth, huh? It is he that sitteth upon the circle of the earth. If I ask you to draw a circle on a piece of paper, will you draw me a sphere? Or will it turn into a ball? Draw a circle on a piece of paper and it's going to come out as a circle. And the inhabitants thereof are as grasshoppers, that stretches out the heavens as a curtain. Can you stretch out heavens over a spherical ball and spreadeth them out as a tent to dwell in? As you can see my point here, world of Israel, the earth is not a spinning ball, not according to scripture. Not according to common sense and common knowledge. Do you feel like you're moving when you go outside? Do you feel like you're moving when you're standing still? Water always finds its level. Why do you think they put water in levelers when they're doing construction and building buildings? So that they can see that the surface is level and flat, just like this earth is level and flat, minus the valleys and hills and mountains. Use your common sense. Use your spiritual sense. My name is War Ra. I'm signing out. Shalom, Israel.